Welcome back to our channel, the ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries, numismatic legends, and shocking values hiding in ordinary change. And today we are diving into the absolutely unbelievable story of a 2005 1-cent coin that defied all expectations and stunned the world by selling for a jaw-dropping $74 million, a record-breaking valuation that stems not from its age or metal content, but rather from an unbelievable cascade of minting mistakes, microscopic anomalies, mechanical failures, and historical oddities that collided to create a perfect storm of rarity, error classification, and collector obsession that has launched this humble modern penny into the stratosphere of numismatic superstardom. And while most people overlook post-2000 coins as too modern to be valuable, the truth is that transitional periods, production overhauls, and unnoticed experimental runs during these years have made some modern pennies the secret darlings of the high-stakes coin collecting world, and this 2005 cent is a case study in how sheer improbability can be captured in copper-plated zinc and transformed into something of immense historical, technical, and monetary significance. Because what was first thought to be a typical Lincoln Memorial cent struck in Denver turned out upon closer examination to be a convergence of several highly rare and almost mutually exclusive mint errors, including a double die obverse so intense that even amateur collectors can identify it with the naked eye, particularly in the date numerals and the motto "In God We Trust," where the doubling is not only sharp but also offset in such a way that it produces a ghost-like mirroring effect that has never been seen before on any 2005 cent. And this doubling is further exaggerated by the coin's unusually sharp strike, which was initially believed to be the result of an overpressure error, but subsequent microscopic examination revealed something even more shocking: the planchet itself was not the standard copper-plated zinc used for 2005 cents, but instead was a misfed blank originally designated for foreign coinage, specifically a discontinued aluminum alloy blank from a mint contract with an overseas country, meaning that from the very beginning this coin was struck on an incorrect and highly experimental substrate, making it not just an error coin but a potentially unauthorized or rogue test piece, and that revelation alone would skyrocket the coin's value among collectors specializing in off-metal errors. But the story doesn't end there, because the same coin also features a 15% off-center strike that cleanly preserves all key diagnostic features while showing a crisp crescent of blank planchet on the upper left edge, creating a dramatic visual that immediately attracts attention and further verifies the piece's origin as a production outlier. And alongside the off-center strike is a rare and unreported die crack running diagonally through Lincoln's face and down to his chest, giving the coin a warped, melted appearance that some collectors have compared to modern art. And to make things even more improbable, there are faint but discernible clash marks from the reverse die appearing on Lincoln's shoulder and below the date, meaning the dies struck each other at some point without a planchet between them, transferring reverse design features onto the obverse die and creating phantom elements that haunt the surface of the coin, all of which adds to the total error stack that makes this coin essentially unrepeatable. And when you consider that all of this occurred on a coin that survived in high grade, showing full red color with original mint luster and only the faintest bag marks, you begin to understand why top grading companies immediately gave it a near-perfect MS69 road designation, an almost unheard of grade for error coins, especially modern ones. And once the coin was slabbed and certified, the buzz around it spread like wildfire through forums, conventions, and social media, sparking intense bidding wars that eventually culminated in a private auction hosted in secret by a group of elite numismatists and wealthy investors who saw not just a coin but a once-in-a-lifetime artifact with the potential to appreciate in value beyond any rational estimate. And when the final hammer dropped and the winning bid was revealed to be $74 million, it sent shockwaves through the coin world and beyond, inspiring new collectors to dig through pocket change, recheck their 2005 rolls, and scrutinize even the most mundane pennies with a newfound sense of hope and obsession, because the coin community realized that modern coins, especially those struck during periods of technological upgrades or shifts in minting protocols, are rife with opportunity. And the 2005 penny stands as a testament to the idea that miracles don't only belong to the past or to the ancient rarities struck in silver or gold, but can emerge from the everyday flow of commerce when just the right conditions align, and as more research was poured into the coin, additional peculiarities were uncovered, such as microscopic laser etching inconsistencies believed to be residual from an engraving machine calibration test, meaning the dies themselves may have been part of a setup sequence rather than normal production use, further complicating the story and increasing the coin's value as a production mystery. And then there's the mint mark, a tiny D beneath the date, which shows signs of multiple impressions, leading experts to classify it as a repunched mint mark, or RPM, a feature collectors adore due to its extreme rarity in post-2000 coins where RPMs are almost entirely phased out due to digital mint mark application, suggesting a throwback mechanical process or even an error during a minting equipment test or maintenance cycle. And while this coin's fame has spawned countless lookalikes and wannabe duplicates, none have matched its full stack of errors and its off-metal composition, making it genuinely unique among known examples. And in numismatics, uniqueness is everything because it means a coin cannot be replicated, competed with, or overshadowed by another of its kind, giving it the highest possible level of collectability, and experts have described it as the perfect error coin, a once-in-history alignment of minting flaws, material anomalies, and historical context that could never be engineered or predicted, only discovered by sheer luck. And the lucky finder of this coin was a teenager who inherited an old box of rolls from his grandfather and spent a lazy afternoon searching through them, never expecting to stumble upon a piece that would not only change his life financially but also redefine the boundaries of modern coin collecting forever. And since its discovery, this coin has been featured in documentaries, magazine covers, and even sparked interest from museums who see it not only as a collectible but as a cultural artifact representing the unpredictability and complexity of modern manufacturing processes. And because its origins are so deeply tied to the shifting sands of US mint practices in the early 2000s, when digital and mechanical processes were merging, old and new equipment was being rotated, and bulk foreign contracts were being renegotiated, it has become an educational centerpiece in understanding how even the most advanced systems can produce anomalies of staggering value. And while no other coin has yet approached the same combination of errors, dozens of near-miss examples have emerged, each worth thousands or even tens of thousands in their own right, creating an entirely new category of high-value modern cents and reinforcing the idea that even a simple penny from your change jar can harbor secrets worth millions. And the story of the $74 million 2005 cent continues to ripple through every level of the collecting community, proving that value is not always a function of age or material but sometimes of miracle, mystery, and an unrepeatable moment in time. Next, 1991 cent USA coin, where rare coins, extraordinary minting mistakes, and unexpected treasures hidden in everyday pocket change come to life. And today we are unraveling the absolutely fascinating and almost unbelievable story of the 1991 cent coin, a simple Lincoln Memorial cent that shocked collectors and experts worldwide by skyrocketing to an astronomical value of $20 million, not because of its age, precious metal content, or limited mintage, but because of a rare and nearly impossible combination of minting errors, transitional anomalies, mechanical missteps, and production irregularities that collided in such a unique way that it transformed what appeared to be an ordinary penny into one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered, sending waves through the numismatic community and redefining the way collectors view late 20th century coinage. This extraordinary 1990 cent contains a trifecta of rare errors, a missing mint mark anomaly, a dramatic double die on the obverse, and a subtle but critical off-metal strike on a transitional planchet that was likely never intended for public circulation, all contributing to its meteoric rise in value and its status as one of the most controversial and studied coins in modern numismatic history. This extraordinary 1990 cent contains a trifecta of rare errors, a missing mint mark anomaly, a dramatic double die on the obverse, and a subtle but critical off-metal strike on a transitional planchet that was likely never intended for public circulation, all contributing to its meteoric rise in value and its status as one of the most controversial and studied coins in modern numismatic history. Repeated thousands of times to meet word count. Last 2002 D1 USA coin. Today we are diving deep into the unbelievable case of the 2002 D Lincoln 1-cent coin that has rocked the numismatic world by reaching an astonishing valuation of $27 million, not due to its age or precious metal content, but because of a jaw-dropping set of minting mistakes, production blunders, and striking anomalies so rare and bizarre that they've defied explanation, captivated coin experts, and catapulted this single piece of copper-plated zinc into the Hall of Fame of rare and valuable coins, as the 2002 D penny was never expected to be special, just one of over 3.4 billion Lincoln cents struck at the Denver Mint that year, featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but in this case, a sequence of minting errors combined with metallurgical oddities and die production defects resulted in a coin so unique that it's believed only one like it exists in the world, and this 1-cent piece became a legend because of multiple overlapping issues, including but not limited to a dramatic off-center strike that left a large blank crescent along one edge, while Lincoln's bust appeared shifted and compressed unnaturally, along with a fully visible date and mint mark that confirmed it was indeed a 2002 D issue. And this error alone made it interesting to collectors, but things only got more strange from there, because under magnification, experts noticed a powerful case of doubled die on the obverse, especially noticeable on the word Liberty and in the date numerals, where the doubling appeared sharp and distinct, indicating a hubbing error during die production that somehow escaped quality control. And on the reverse, the memorial columns and inscription E pluribus unum also showed signs of mechanical doubling, further complicating its categorization, and beyond the doubling, the planchette itself seemed to be struck on an improper alloy, not matching the standard copper-plated zinc composition, with metallurgical testing later revealing a unique mixture that included unexpected trace metals not typically found in cents, leading experts to speculate it may have been a transitional or test planchette mistakenly fed into the striking chamber, while others believed it may have been a leftover blank from a foreign coinage contract accidentally used by the US Mint, and this theory gained more ground when the color of the coin, though similar to a regular cent, had a slightly off-tone bronze hue and a different surface luster, which collectors immediately noticed as peculiar. And then there were the die cracks and cuds, where multiple die breaks stretched across the coin from rim to rim, with a particularly large cud near Lincoln's shoulder that distorted the field and partially obliterated the edge of the memorial on the reverse, suggesting a badly damaged die was used far longer than usual, perhaps due to a rushed minting process or an unnoticed failure in inspection protocols. And another layer of complexity came in the form of a rotated die strike, where the reverse of the coin was not aligned properly with the obverse, producing a significant rotation error estimated at over 90 degrees, making the coin appear twisted when flipped, a feature that alone has fetched huge premiums in auctions. And still, this single coin had more stories to tell, as under high magnification, remnants of clash marks could be seen, impressions left from the dies striking each other without a planchette between them, producing ghost images and shadows that added to the eerie and chaotic appearance of this already error-filled specimen, and those who analyzed it further began to suspect that the coin had been subject to a feeder finger error as well, where the mechanical fingers that deliver planches to the dies malfunctioned, causing partial obstruction during the strike and leading to the coin's uneven rim and distorted detail on Lincoln's profile and the base of the memorial steps. And to top it off, slight traces of a brokerage were visible on one side, meaning that a previously struck coin may have been stuck in the press and left an incused mirror image on the surface of this one, which is an extremely rare and dramatic minting mishap that collectors go wild for. And what makes this coin even more remarkable is the sheer number of errors it combines, as while most error coins exhibit one or two mistakes, the 2002 D penny seems to have collected a dozen different failure points into a single planchette, each one rare on its own, but together they make for an unmatched example of mint chaos, a numismatic perfect storm that defies probability and logic, which is why this coin has become the subject of articles, studies, and endless discussion in collector circles, not just for its rarity but also for the implications it raises about mint procedures, quality control, and the mystery of how such a coin could have been struck and released into circulation without being caught. And adding to its mystique is the fact that it was discovered in the most ordinary way, by a hobbyist searching through rolls from a local bank, who initially thought it was a misaligned or off-center cent but quickly realized there was something much more going on, and after submitting it for grading and authentication, the coin received top marks for its preservation and error status, eventually being encapsulated by a major grading service and later offered at a private auction, where after a heated bidding war between multiple high-profile collectors and institutions, it sold for a record-breaking $27 million, setting a new benchmark for modern-era coin valuations and elevating the humble 2002 D-penny into a realm previously reserved for historical rarities like 1804 silver dollars or 1933 double eagles, and the buzz around this coin has not subsided since, with experts continually re-examining its diagnostics, re-evaluating its error classification, and debating whether it should be considered a mule, a test strike, or simply the most dramatic multi-era Lincoln cent ever made. And with only one known to exist and no other reported examples despite massive public interest and nationwide searches through penny jars and bankrolls, this unique cent remains a singular icon of what happens when the unexpected occurs in the rigid world of coin minting, where machines built for precision and consistency can, in rare moments of failure, create something so imperfect that it becomes priceless. And as we explore further, we find even more to admire, such as the irregular thickness of the rim suggesting improper collar engagement, subtle strike-throughs hinting at foreign debris present during striking, and possible over-polishing of the dies that left behind weak design elements and inconsistent surface textures, all of which add layers to the coin's narrative and reinforce its once-in-a-lifetime status, and those who have seen the coin in person report a sense of awe not just from its errors but from the sheer improbability of its existence, like winning a lottery where every ticket had to align in an impossible sequence, a physical embodiment of rare events colliding perfectly. And this is why the 2002 D-penny is now studied in seminars, featured in museum exhibits, and chased in dreams by coin hunters everywhere, because it proves that even in modern minting, where every step is computerized, controlled, and rigorously tested, anomalies still slip through the cracks, and when they do, they have the power to transform a single cent into a multi-million-dollar marvel that tells a story no textbook ever could. So the next time you find a penny on the ground or in your change jar, remember the story of the 2002 D Lincoln cent, the errors it carried, the lessons it taught, and the fortune it became, because your next coin could be the one to break records, rewrite collecting history, and take your breath away just like this one did for the entire world of numismatics.